Hello there. Today I'll be taking a look at the Neca Pennywise. This is the original It Chapter 1. I believe this is the iteration of Pennywise from the opening scene, because if you do collect Neca, you'll know that they made a bunch of versions for specific scenes in the series. So over here I have the original. Unfortunately, I bought this guy loose with all his accessories, so I do not have a box to show for this figure, but I do have the bootleg version, which I did get unknowingly. I did not know it was a bootleg. So, here it is. Let's go up a bit and a bit out. Okay, there. Okay, so as normal, this is the standard box for Neca, just like they have for the Predator figures, and the Pennywise you could see in the back, another figure. So this is the front. It's just a poster, I think, for the movie. I'm not sure. And just says You'll Float 2 and It. And as normal, it's a Velcro, and here is the original figure that did come with this. As you could clearly tell, it's a fake. I might do a comparison of it in this video as well. I might just compare the two as well. And you will notice the balloon is indeed missing, because the balloon is over here. The balloon broke. Yeah, yikes. And so yeah, this is and here's a picture of Pennywise, and that's the original fake figure. And on this side, it's just Neca reels and a picture of it with it over there, and then on the other side, exact same thing. On the bottom, it's the barcode or whatever, and this is the store where I got it from. Okay, it says Neca Jaeger, and the top, it's just the same thing as the cover, at least I think that is, I'm not so sure. And then the back is just a bunch of images of the figure and the poses you can get into. I do believe that this is how the original Pennywise box also looks like. I'm not sure. Can anyone verify that for me? But yeah, I think the only difference between this and an official box is that it is a lot brighter, or it's not visible from camera, but it does look a lot brighter than a lot of my other Neca boxes. So yeah, let's put it to the side, and now let's talk about the actual figure itself. So here is the Neca Pennywise without the balloon hand for now. I took that out since we're not looking at accessories, we're looking at the figure. This is how it comes out of the box, I believe, because that's how my fake came out of the box, with the open hand and the boat holding one. So he does look pretty accurate to the film from what I can tell. He looks pretty spot on. Yeah, a pretty great looking figure. I like all the details around him. I have indeed seen the movie, but only clips of it, and I think I've seen it, I don't remember. I remember seeing the movie once, but mostly covered my eyes because it was full of jump scares, I think. But yeah, the gray clothing looks pretty similar to the same looking clothing, and it's not visible from camera, but it also has the same yellow eyes. It even, the eyes, it also has the red outline, and then the yellow eyes and the pupils. Looks pretty spot on to me. Looks pretty much like the movie. Neca really nailed this figure. And now let's compare him to the fake. And over here is the fake. Some already obvious differences, I think. At least from my perspective. I'm not sure about over there. The camera doesn't look like it quite picks up all of it. But as you can see, the foreheads are a bit different. Let's get that much closer. This one's much darker and more shaded. And this one is much lighter. I'm sorry for the horrible camera quality. I'm just recording on my phone. I don't have any other device to use exactly. But yeah, that is much darker. And the hair, in fact, is also... This one is just much more one flatted color. This one has a lot more detail. That is actually much more obvious difference on camera. And as for the clothing, yeah, a lot less detail. As you could see, this one has more, like, it's not very visible. I think it is, yeah, like, this feels more smoother, this has more texture. The only thing I can really, and also the head sits up much like, let's stand them both. And this guy has really loosey-goosey legs. Mine also has a bit of that, but mostly, it's a bit shaky, but it's mostly stiff. Yeah. You could tell the head on this one is a lot more higher, which I actually kind of like, as you get much better tilts, but this does look more accurate to the movie, so normally I would just lift the head up a bit. And that's another issue with that figure. It's not easy to stand because of the very loose legs. Now, yeah, pretty much they look, from the camera, they look, okay, from what I could see on the camera, this one looks a bit darker from the camera, the fake one that I'm shaking. And this one looks much lighter from the camera, but in real life, yeah, that is actually true as well. This is much darker in terms of the color clothing. And a lot smoother, actually. And yeah, and the way that the neck is pegged in. This could also be possibly a really old figure that the person might have owned. Because the tape on it, when I opened the box, the tape did not look like the tape that these normally come in. It looks like the homemade type Scotch tape that even we use. So yeah, I'm not so sure if this is just really old, that some of the details faded away. But this is a bootleg, this is the real thing, and it's pretty clear. And it's pretty damn clear to me the differences. So now let us get on to the accessories of this Pennywise, and then we'll also compare the fake accessories after we take a look at the original accessories. Okay, and these are Pennywise's accessories. He comes with a normal looking non-smirking head, which is just that, and similarly to the other head that I did not take off. Actually, a lot less detail on this head, as you could see over there, and the camera quality looks so much better zoomed in. Too bad I can't zoom in that much, because you won't be able to see anything. And same with this one, actually. Interesting. But yeah, here is the angry Pennywise head, which, I mean, the teeth is a bit off, but nothing really bothers me because I won't really display it with this head anyway, so yeah. Yeah, pretty decent accessory. I probably won't be using any of these heads. I really like that smiling Pennywise. And now, the hands. Okay, these are pretty basic, actually, compared to the fake. Like, I never realized how much detail these had until I compared it to my fake. Boy, is there a massive difference. Let's let that focus. Okay, there we go. And then the boat. Doesn't he look like paper? And yeah, SS Georgie. And then the balloon. I already know what this balloon feels like because I opened the exclusive Pennywise I own. It's the black and white version from the beginning. If you guys saw in the beginning, I pointed it out. I will not pull out that figure because I will be forever sealing it now. It will be left in the box. But yeah, much more sturdier than the fake. A lot sturdier than the fake, and I did not take out the hand anymore because I'm afraid that I will not be able to put it back in. And this is how I'll have my Pennywise displayed anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Okay, now let's compare it to the fake. Now, I can't really compare the balloons, because like I mentioned at the beginning already, the balloon on that one is fake, but I can immediately tell you the other balloon feels a lot, what's the word for it? It feels a lot, it's not as stiff, it feels like it'll crack if I squeeze it a little too hard. So yeah, and as I get the accessories off the ground, oops, there we go. The only thing I'll probably even mistake for each other, never mind, I won't. I don't know if the camera can pick it up, but the fake one is actually much, okay, Let's wait for that. Okay, they're not picking up, but this is actually a lot darker. I think, yeah, the camera kind of picks it up. I already showed you. So this is the only good thing from the fake. Like, straight up the only good thing about the fake. Like, this is the only thing that even looks accurate, and it's so blurry because I'm moving so much. But yeah, this is the only thing that I could even possibly confuse with the real thing. The rest of these, well, they don't even come close. Okay, to the two smirk Pennywise heads, I can already tell which one's fake and which one's real. This one I think is the real one, and this is the fake one. Shit, I got them confused. I think this is the real one. Yeah, I think this is the real one because much more detailed forehead versus less detailed forehead, and much better hair design and compared to this. And now this, okay, this is the fake. Let's move that to the side. I'm getting scared for the I'm getting really scared, so I'll move that to the side. And now these two heads is the biggest difference, and honestly was the thing that was supposed to be a really big giveaway, yet I did not notice it and just decided to think it was just old paint rubbing away the teeth. Just look at that. Huge difference. Even the hair, much flatter, and this one actually has detail on it for once, and the much more detailed forehead. I don't know what's up with the detailed foreheads on these. Other than that, looks decent. And then now the hands. For these two hands, I could obviously tell which one is which, but yeah. Okay, they won't focus, but the real one obviously is the balloon one. This is the fake one. I accidentally widened, my mom accidentally widened the hole too much for the balloon, so when I got the exclusive Pennywise, the black and white variant, I tried to put the red balloon in here, so the fake Pennywise could at least have a use before I ever got the It Chapter 1 or It Chapter 2 Pennywise. But yeah, it wasn't much use, it just kept flopping around in there. Now the last two hands. Now here, it's much more obvious than if they can focus, that is. Okay, but one of them, okay, let's see if the camera can at least there, see that? Much more detailed looking stitching compared to this one, which looks much more plain. Much more detailed stitching, much more plain stitching. So we'll move that to the side. Okay, that is it for the accessories. Now we'll do the articulation. Okay, alrighty, I didn't mention we were gonna do the articulation, but I completely forgot about scale. So let's compare him to some other figurines I have nearby me. So first we'll compare him to a 6-inch figure, Marvel Legends. More specifically, I have Carnage over here. Stand next to him. I've been using this guy in a lot of my reviews, in the Michael Myers review, and yeah. That's how he compares to Pennywise, but to be fair, Pennywise is a very small Neca figure, even among horrors, so here, let's compare him to a City Hunter Predator. I know I have the other two in the background, but we haven't seen this guy yet. So that's how big he is compared to him. Now let's compare him to Jason Voorhees. I have not featured this guy ever since his review. This has been the first time he's been featured. I'm gonna do a lot of figure reviews, like Leatherface, the two Predators, including City Hunter. And here he is compared to what? Wait, wow. Okay, wait a minute. It's probably, I don't know why, but the camera screen is a bit warped, so it does kind of look like like Jason's much bigger. But in reality, no, he isn't that much bigger actually. Oh wow. Okay, then now we'll go with the articulation. Okay, for the articulation for this guy, I'll be using the fake one since the articulation on my original one is a bit stiff. So, yeah, I'm gonna be using the fake one for this. Let's begin with the head. He could look up pretty well. Not sure about my original though, because the guy's head is literally tilted downward. He could look down pretty well. Could look side to side, spin his head 360, and he could also tilt it like Michael Myers. And I believe, is there any lower neck joint down there? Or is it just this one singular? Okay, there. Oh my lord, what the heck? Okay, then there's this thing where he could move his head down here as well, but it's not being used much, so yeah. Oh, I didn't even realize that, because my Pennywise just pops from the, like, head over here. My little brother also has a Pennywise. I believe he has the Pennywise for the one with many faces, or something. Yeah, and I've seen him pop the head off before. Okay, now for the arms, he could spread out at least that much, at least on the fake. And he also has two forms of bicep type swivel, which is one on the actual bicep, and then what some figures have, specifically for Neca, this. And then double jointed elbows, pretty good. And just for a circular hand movement, and for a up and down, or sideways, or if you okay, it could also be a rotated. Wait, could it? It could be rotated like that by the shit. Or it could also be rotated like that. Or you could rotate like that, so it's side to side, and or like this. Okay, now for the waist, no actual diaphragm joint like Jason, or like Mr. Jason, or the AVP, or even Carnage over here have, like, nothing down here. But he does have a lot of amazing waist movement. He could spin 360 like the head. He could crunch forward a decent amount, crunch back very well as well, and he could tilt pretty well. Now this articulation when it comes to up here is really limited because of this, but I don't think it's really, like, maybe take it off and it's gonna be real good. Now for kicking forward, he could kick about that much because of the hindrance, and excuse me, and then backwards about that much, and he could spread his legs about that much with the hindrance of the skirt. And I do think he has a thigh swivel right up there, and then double jointed knees just like the hands, and swivel both downward and upward. And then as for the ankles, the only movement in there is this, up, there, forward. This can't actually go much forward than normal, just normal. And then he could go back up, and he could inward and outward his ankles. Okay, now how do I put this feet back? And yeah, so that is it for this guy's articulation. They do seem pretty similar figures in terms of articulation, so that's why I'm confident basing it off of that. So overall, I do recommend this figure. I think most horror fans or NECA fans and collector in general have this guy. Real good figure. I would rate him about a 8.5 to maybe even 9 out of 10. Pretty good figure. Recommended. Pennywise, one of my favorite horror icons of all time. So I'll see you in another vid. Hope you enjoyed this, and bye-bye.